Hello, you guys. Apologies for my tardiness. I have been on back-to-back meetings since 10 a.m. and I've been up since like 5 a.m. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So yeah, I had to like run to the bathroom real quick. Dang. The the gang was ready. What is up, you guys? How is it going? You're totally free to like unmute yourself and say what's up if you would like. I'm like, let me adjust my collar and put some lip gloss on. I was not prepared. But lying because I'm always prepared. So last week, we clarified how to take your brand pillars and turn them into content pillars, but I did not get y'all's content pillars in Discord. So I got some. Reem, I got the new Jasmine who just joined. I believe Autumn also shared her content pillars. So anyone who did not share their content pillars, are you struggling with anything when it comes from, taking your brand pillars and developing your content pillars that you want to talk about? Anybody? Is anyone able to unmute?
I was just gonna say, I haven't had time to actually do the assignment, so that's why I'm just kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
but it's on my mind. I'm thinking about it.
Fair, fair. You did pay for this course to do it at your own pace, so no pressure. I just want to know if there's anything preventing you from moving forward that I can help with. And I got you. So yeah, so hold on. Let me move my agenda to this screen so I'm not always looking at the other screen. All right. And so Moon commented in the chat, appreciate it. Yes, responses in the chat are welcome. If you are on the move, can't unmute, I realize that this is the middle of the day for a lot of y'all. So honestly, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come here. So Moon said, yeah, I think I'm just not very confident in what I want to post yet. Honestly, just exploring options still. Fair. Fair. Very fair. I understand. So, okay, as long as there isn't something that you're confused about or that you are struggling with that's preventing you from being able to establish your content pillars, and maybe you just need more time. Um, because honestly, this is a self-discovery process, So you're doing a lot of these things for the first time. You're hearing these concepts and being, told about these new questions and stuff that you've never explored before. So if you're not able to, that's okay. Take as much time as you need. I just wanted to see if there's anything that I could do personally to help you on your journey. But all right, so today we are discussing how to pick content formats that work for you. So we know your brand. Now we need to figure out the format. That's also something that I feel like, even if you know what you want to talk about, you might not know how you want to show up on social media or the format that you actually want to do it in. I have found that both of these elements are really, really essential before we can actually come and figure out a content strategy or a content plan for you. Because I can give you all the ideas in the world. If you are not on social media and you don't even know what I am talking about, you're not going to be able to do it. That's another big thing too, is that if you are not on social media, it's going to be kind of hard for you to think of content formats because you don't consume content. You don't even know what it would be. So if I'm saying like, let's do a get ready with me, but let's make it, a we-centered asset that is about your audience, and let's do it in an original way that aligns with your brand. You'd be like, what? Like what is we centered? What is, like, what are you talking about? And that's the thing, is that right now, social media, just like the music industry and everything, very oversaturated. We have people selling us stuff all the time. We have people scamming. We have people who just want attention, who are posting, fake content and all of that. So, in a world where you are fighting the fake and you need to stand out as a real, authentic person, knowing different formats and picking the right content for you is very, very essential to that process. So, the goal for today's live training is to help you guys select content types and formats that match your brand and your bandwidth, right? Because you could like some of the most fly content in the world, not knowing that it took someone like an editor 20 hours to make that one asset. That's not sustainable. That is not a repeatable thing that you can do on a consistent basis, right? That is some high level, high effort content that you should be doing, maybe when you have the budget to hire an editor to do it, because you don't have the time to edit all of this stuff yourself. So, content is really just your brand in motion. Um, and after we go over the format selection, next week we will get into batching and scheduling. But if anybody was wondering why I made that last minute change, it was because I was like, we can't build a content calendar if they don't even know the different types of content that exist. So let's get into that. Drop a fire emoji if you ever felt overwhelmed picking the right kind of content to make. Yes, I mean, looks like someone is trying to get access to Zoom. In the Discord. If anyone is able to share the link with them, please do, but I don't have Discord open. Like, just so y'all know, I do this like Max. If you're here and if you can help whoever is in Discord, that would be great. Because I was about to say I do this by myself, and then I remembered, wait, Max is here. So I'm not alone anymore. But okay, I see a lot of fire in that chat. Y'all, like, this is such a relatable struggle. So now you know that you are not alone. It can be very overwhelming picking the right kind of content to make because there's so much out there. And at the end of the day, you guys are music artists. You guys are not content creators. You are creating content so that you can market and promote your music and you can build a community that actually listens to your stuff. But y'all are not content creators. You guys are creatives in the music realm and in a different genre. So if it feels overwhelming and if it's not natural for you to show up on camera, that is completely okay. That's not weird. And a lot of artists, it took them a long time to get comfortable doing that, unless they came from the theater world. A lot of artists who come from the theater world, they are ready because that's like their fucking personality. Like, so if you come from like a performing arts background, might be a little bit easier for you to create content. I'm not saying it'll be easier for you to think about stuff, but it'll be easier for you to do it once you get in the process and you know how you want to show up. So, what types of videos are the easiest for you to make right now? And what do you guys actually like watching online? Let me know in the comments. I know for me, the easiest videos for me to make are talking head videos because I literally just have to like pick a topic that I want to talk about. I can be like, ChatGPT, I want to talk about this, this, and this, and I want to do it in 90 seconds, and I want it to have my tone and my voice, and I want, there to be engagement prompts at the end, blah, blah, blah. And then ChatGPT will just spit out a script, and I can just do that literally did that this morning and put it on Dropbox. It's been a fucking day. So what about you guys? What are any ideas on the different types of videos that are easiest for you to make right now? Is anyone posting content or does anyone make content? Setting up the phone and lip syncing the song is the easiest right now. And look, that can go a long way. That can go a long way. I have like a video that is going viral right now is this girl like it's like trying to open a matcha bag and like make tea and it's like POV, you're a cup in my kitchen listening to me sing unreleased bangers. And she is going in because she is a shanger, right? So it's like that was not super crazy hard effort for her to make. But if you're a vocalist and if you can sing down, right, you've seen that one, Autumn? Like she ate that up. I'm like, oh, what is the single? Because let me know and we can pre-save it. I commented on her Instagram. I said, where are the cup applications? Because I want to be serenaded like this. So Autumn said, I like quick yapping and talking head videos. It'd be the easiest for me to make talking head videos on songwriting tips. Love that. Love that down. Me and Autumn actually had our one-on-one. She was the last founding member to have her one-on-one call yesterday. So yes, and she has a lot of songwriting knowledge. She literally can hear a song and be like, this sounds like James Fauntleroy. This sounds like Victoria Monet. And then go and look in the lyrics, or not the lyrics, look in the credits and see like, oh yeah, I was right. They wrote on that. That's a skill. That's definitely a skill. So yes, that is it. Um, Honey Gold Jasmine. I hope you had an amazing event, babes. I was not able to make it to 510 Day this weekend. I feel like people want to see my personality more than my music. Well, that's true because that is what you have built your platform on so far, is your personality. So it is true. People followed you for your personality. So the trick is, how do you make a personality type videos that relate to your music? You see what I'm saying? Like that's actually we got to figure out how I can showcase my personality in a way that ties back to my music. So that's definitely the work. David said +1 to lip syncing, seeing people blow up with simple set and shoot posts have demotivated me from trying to make fancy production videos, to be honest. I mean, honestly, that's the thing, is that if it is high effort, it's going to be low output because you don't have enough time and energy to make these high, like super edited videos all the time. And honestly, you're making that for you because you're the artist and you want it to look a certain way. But if you are trying to be discovered, it is genuinely not about the artsy stuff right now. It's genuinely about the repeatable stuff that you can do in a branded way that like will bring people into your stratosphere, into your world, bring them into the gravitational pull of your world and draw them in. So when you are promoting your music, it's not off brand. It's like, oh yeah, I followed him because he, be doing rants about how difficult it is to be a producer. And this is his new song, anything like that. I'm just coming with stuff off the top of my head. Um, K the Wave said, I agree with Reem, but I would like to get comfortable talking on camera. Maybe, maybe you're not good talking to the camera, but maybe you can set your camera up and do some voiceover stuff. Like that's the thing, if talking to camera isn't natural for you, that's okay. There's like other stuff that you can do. There's a whole, like, faceless content is a whole thing and that has not gone away. It's still very effective. There's a whole trend going on right now with narration videos where it's like people aren't even talking, like they are having like a narration voice and like the words are on screen. And it's just edited in a cool way. So just had a viral video from the event. Oh, congrats, honey gold. I hope, was the viral video using your music? Oh, dang. Okay, so I've seen the video formats that you like. Now I'm going to share with you the worksheet that goes with this section of the workbook so that we can actually look at the work. Sorry for last week's mix up with the replay and the worksheets and everything getting in there. Sincerest apologies about that. Let me, here we go. Content flowchart, and then I'm gonna open up the PDF. So I am building, last month I build like the whole workbook before the month of April. This month I'm kind of like adding as we go. And honestly, teaching you guys is making me better at my job. So I just want to stop and say thank you. Thank you for helping me get better at this. And oh my gosh, I just saw you, Jasmine. You said, hello, people think it's my song, though. Dang, dang, dang. Missed opportunity. But now in the future, if I do it with my song, it could go viral. Um, all right. Let me share my screen. All right, so last week we were in phase one, which is define your content pillars. And this week we're in phase two, which is about your format and getting into a flow. So, what we are really trying to do in this phase, like we said, is to explore different types of video formats, whether that is talking head, it can be text on screen, it can be trending audios, it could be trending edits, so many different trending things, making it relatable to your experience, and making it branded based on what you are talking about, as well as like your goals for this content. And we want to map out which formats best serve the pillars that you have outlined, and create, again, a realistic cadence that you can post, that you can actually do these things. So when thinking about what types of videos are the most natural for you, I had this example answer of, I feel most comfortable talking directly to the camera in a calm but confident tone. I love sharing personal stories, lessons learned, because that's the thing. If you are doing, talking head videos, what you talking about? What's that head talking about, right? So, what kinds of things do you like to share? So, personal stories, lessons that you have learned, or speaking as a big sister figure. I'm not great at dancing or doing trends unless I can add meaning or a unique spin. Filming in my car or home studio feels natural. So, if you want to think about what types of videos are the most natural to you, these are the kinds of things you want to think about. Is, do you like talking or do you like performing? Do you prefer short, snappy content, or are you kind of long-winded? You got some stuff to say. Are you a storyteller, right? Do you enjoy trending sounds? Or original audios? And it's not, do I enjoy trending sounds because I want to have the most popular whatever. It's about, like, do I actually like trends? Like, is this shit funny to me? Like, if I go on my For You page, is it a bunch of people using like trending sounds? Because that's the kind of shit that I interact with. And then what setting makes you feel the most confident? So I know for me, if I got to keep it 100, I have to be in a room with like closed doors, or I have to be in the car, because I am not comfortable, like it's uncomfortable for me to create content and like know people can hear me. I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's like I'm fucking talking to myself like on camera. Like, it's just weird, right? And so for me to feel the most comfortable, I definitely have to be like in a room with the door closed, or like in the car. And the car was actually like my favorite place to film content at the last apartment that we lived in. And it was just because I felt like I could just be myself. I could be loud as hell. Like, I'm not bothering anyone, right? And also like no one can hear me. So it's definitely a thing. Your location definitely plays a part in how you can show up, in a confident way. The next thing you kind of want to ask yourself is like, what kinds of videos does your ideal fan engage with? Actually, let me see. Is there a way for me? I don't know if you guys have any comments. Oh, okay, no. Okay, sorry. I was just checking to see if there's any comments. Okay, so what kind of videos does your ideal fan engage with? So my ideal fan is this is the example answer that I have in there. I like to give you guys examples so that you can kind of see like where I'm trying to go with this and the best way for you to create your own answer. Because I'm a template kind of girly. It's like, whoa, what's the example on the homework? Okay, I know how to do that now. So the example answer, my ideal fan is a 24-year-old woman who loves R&B with soul and depth. She connects with emotionally raw content and behind the scene glimpses into how songs are made. She engages most with relatable story times, aesthetic lyric videos, or videos that give her something to think about. So self-worth, love, growth. She's likely saving or sharing content that helps her feel seen. So you notice how it's not like, okay, just pick one format that you like doing and do it a million times, right? It's like, even if you know the format, you have to think about like, okay, but where on the internet does my ideal fan or listener hang out? For real, for real. How are they going to see me? Because if they don't like story times, do they like, funny, trending, relatable stuff? Do they like, informational stuff? Do they feel inspired by, affirmations and different kinds of things like that? And does that, if I'm a neo soul artist, affirmations, that's a no brainer. Like that's right there. But also, if you are going through a breakup and you have realized your self worth, like those, there's different ways that you can do affirmations. Like you can also do them through swipe posts and in memes and stuff like this. Like this is my fucking camera roll. So it's like if you are, because this is like boss girl, I'm not waiting for anybody to give me my dreams, like I'm gonna do it myself kind of energy. And that is inspirational, that's like that is motivating. And so anyone that I feel like follows me, they're on that vibe because they're watching me make my own dreams come true. So so yeah, think about what kinds of videos that your ideal fan will engage with. And your ideal fan can be more than just one freaking type, right? We've talked about this when it comes to your target audience. If they are even 18 through 35, 18 through 24 is one demo, 25 to 30 is one demo, 31 to 35 is another. You are a different person in all of those different stages of your life. So if you do have majority of your people in that frame, you need to think about a minimum of 3 different types of people that are looking for your music and where they would hang out online. And then the final thing that I want you to do is to assign 2 to 3 formats to each content pillar. So I have an example in here of just random content pillars that I just like picked out of a bag. So there's one where you're talking about your artist life. There's another where this is just like your fan engagement pillar. There's another where it's like, okay, I'm going to do lyrical breakdowns about my music. Again, this is for people who have written, recorded, and released music where you can do lyrical breakdowns. If you're not there yet, you're going to have to think of another content pillar because you can't be doing lyrical breakdowns to music that hasn't even been released, that people can't even go and stream because we are promoting something that is not ready to be out yet, So it's kind of, you're putting the cart before the horse. Is that the saying? Yeah, because a horse drags a cart. Okay. Anyway, sorry. All right. And then the last pillar is self-reflection. So that is kind of like the inspirational, the motivating type thing. So now that we know our different pillars, and last week when we were choosing, and again, these are random pillars, your pillars should be more specific because you have done branding work. So, you know, anyways, I'm not going to go into that. But when we were talking about pillars last week, we want them to do 4 things. Does anybody remember what those 4 things are? We need our audience to connect to these pillars in 4 different ways. They should be able to inspire, engage, entertain, or educate. Those are the 4 different things that you want to make sure your pillar does at least one of those 4 things. So Story time. For talking about your artist life, you can have a story time. Story times don't always have to be talking head videos. They can be narration videos, they can be introduction videos, they can be, videos where you have a montage or a compilation of b-roll where just your song is playing, and the story time can be like different text comes on screen every 3 to 5 seconds. There's totally different ways that you can do story times. But you want it to be about your artist life, right? Next, talking head format. This is a lot of just talking directly to the camera. I put this up as like a mini mic. I don't use a mini mic. I need one so that I can stop yelling like Samuel L. Jackson in all my fucking videos. And I can just talk in my normal speaking voice. And then another one, text on screen. Text on screen is it's like literally y'all can set your phone up. You can just walk back and like the text on screen can talk about your artist life. It can talk about whatever you are trying to do. um Fan engagement. Now this is it's obviously for we want our audience to engage, right? So doing some type of trend remix. When I say trend remix, it's like if the trending audio is from, Legally Blonde, and people are doing a certain trend to that trending audio, you have to think, does this trend align with like the story or the theme of the music that I am promoting right now? Or should I replace the audio with my audio and just do the trend that they are doing, right? Because like that whole I like the way she hits and like you can do that dance to any song. It doesn't have to be to How Do You Want It, right? You can do that dance to your song, but it's like people can see the trending dance and know like, oh, what song is that? And that is how you can do things. So there's different ways. There's also, there's audios that are like another one. Thank you. So I had my artist, Reggie Beckton. I say my artist because he's one of my clients, not because I manage him, but he does content that is about the independent artist journey because he's been on this journey for a minute. Literally streams over 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify alone. Streams has multiple songs in the millions. But we just broke 1,900 followers on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like he hated content, and so we're playing catch up. But using a trending audio with a relatable POV text that is like about the artist's journey. It's like posting for over 30 days consistently just to get 300 views on every video. We get it, but hang in there. Hang in there, okay? We're annoyed with you. We're annoyed with you. But hang in there. So that is how you can take a trend and you can remix it. A relatable skit, something that I can do for that is like one of my clients, her name is Baby Burr, and like she has been getting like a lot of texts from like friends and family, like, "Oh, your new song's so sweet, it's stuck in my head." Da, 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 da. So I was like, "Oh, do a skit where like it's like you keep getting a text like in different parts of your day from these people talking about it, and then in the skit you could be like, "Oh, that's so sweet, that's so sweet, that's so sweet," and you can end it looking at the camera and be like, "Look like it's gonna be a so sweet summer," or something like that. I'm corny, so that's what I'm going to do off the top of my head. You have to do it based on your brand and your personality. But that's a easy skit, and she's able to edit it on her own, and just take the screenshots of people actually hitting her up and saying how her song is getting stuck in their head. So, um, content prompt. So you can also have a engagement prompt on your screen. Let me show you another client of mine. His name is Justin. And so let's see. This is a post he did where it's a 15-second post. He's not even saying anything, but he's like he's like Lecrae, where it's like he's a Christian man, but he doesn't make like Christian music. It's just like being Christian is a part of who I am. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you are in church and stuff, you know, there's always a struggle with like secular music and all of those kinds of things. So, as a music artist, it can be like, there's what y'all say in church, and then there's what my God tells me when I'm laying down at night, right? So, one of his pillars is like faith versus like real life and battling the duality. And this is an engagement post from him. Oh, wait, is there no music on it? Oh, it's not. Is it playing? It's not even playing, guys. Wow. Okay. So this was cool because I was like, hey, bro, that angle is fire. Literally, you can put your phone on your ceiling fan. You do not have to get a fancy mount from TikTok, but you could do anything, right? So how do you remain a beacon of light, surrounded by darkness? So easy. So easy. And so that was an easy engagement, post. That's an easy comment prompt where it's like, if you see this, you're like, oh, and then in your caption, you can say things. Lyric breakdowns, you can do a simple performance clip that has the lyrics on screen. You can do a voiceover explainer. Maybe the hook is you rapping or singing a certain part of the song and then doing a voiceover explainer. I don't think y'all heard me when I said that, and like breaking down the lyrics and what they mean, because you guys are poets. Like, there's a lot of double entendres, there's a lot of stuff that goes over people's heads because they might just be vibing with the music. Like, I know y'all, like I've told you before, I could sing a whole song and then like months later being like, oh my gosh, I just said I'm going to jail. I had no idea I was saying that this whole time or something crazy. Definitely doing that for my voice notes. Good. I love that. Come on, voiceover explainer. Let's go. Love that. And then yeah, BTS of the writing process. Everyone has a different writing process. Some people get sent beats and they make melodies and then they get into the booth and they do those melodies. They don't have words for the melodies yet, but they're like, and then they go back and then they like, please do not judge my singing right there. But then they go back and they actually add words to the melodies, to the beat. Some people want to be in the studio cooking up the beat from scratch with the producer. Some people are recording in their own home and they have notebooks full of lyrics that they need to find beats that actually fit the vibe. That is one of the hardest things to do as a musician, is to get the song out of your head and actually have it sound the way that you hear it, the way that you want other people to hear it. It's very hard to do, which is why a lot of artists also end up producing, because they're like, nobody is getting how I want this done. Like, so it's a whole thing. So yes, BTS of the writing process, help people get through their things. And then the last thing is going to be, self-reflections. This is super simple. This is a simple, it could be a POV video. That POV video that I showed you where it was like a trending thing, that's a POV video. You can also have talking head POV videos. Let me show you. You can have POV lyric videos. Oh yeah, I forget y'all can't hear the I forget when you play videos on Zoom, people can't hear the audio, so there's no point of me playing the audio. um, let's see. An unpopular opinion. Indie artists need jobs. You see? That's the self-reflection. Or he's shared stuff where it's like independent artists need to stop trying to get a manager. Like, you'll attract one with your work. Like, you don't need a manager, like they will come to you, which is a controversial thing because a lot of artists, if they haven't been doing this for 5 to 7 years plus, they're still like, oh, when I get a manager, when I get a label, when I get signed, win, 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 win. And you putting the power of elevating or advancing your career in someone else's hands is what is holding you back from moving forward. So instead of thinking about when I get on, you need to think about what can I do right now to make myself undeniable and attract the people that I want to, you know what I'm saying? They see my hard work and they want to add to it. Cause honestly, if you ain't done shit yet and people are just trying to jump on, it's like it feels like a scam. It's like, what are you investing into? I haven't even done anything. But yeah, you can provide educational tips, and then you can also do, visual montages with a quote. Super easy stuff to do for those types of formats. And so I have a worksheet for this, of course. But before we move on to the worksheet, how we feeling? Temperature check. How's it going, guys? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Ah, sorry, I need to take a drink, so I'm gonna pause for a second. Yeah, you're feeling excited. Yes, feeling good, taking notes. Love it. Love it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Love that it's resonating. Yes, this is good. I have a lot of catching up to do. Girl, don't even worry. Don't think about what you haven't done before. You're doing it now. You're going to move forward. And and that's the thing, is just take it one step at a time. It is a lot. I see a lot of people who comment on my content. They're like, "It's so much." I'm like, "Yeah, baby. Yeah, it is." That's why being a music artist is a career. You don't get paid for nothing. It's a lot of hard work. Even if people make it look or seem easy, it's cap. Or if they're not doing the hard work, they're going to fall off. They might have gotten lucky and they got on, but they're going to fall off. And that is not how you can like build a life for yourself. So, all right. Let's get into this content worksheet real quick, and then we can talk about short form versus long form content and when to test each. So this is new. This will be posted with the replay, but if you are already in hold on, if you are already in, oh, this is not taking me back to the folder. I don't even want to mess it up. If you're not already in the May content folder, let me know. Anyone can have access to the folder because you still have to get access to all of the things. But when we post it online, I try to actually post the actual Word doc or the actual PDF so that you don't need to get my access to it. You can just download it from the website. Last week I had to do a link because it was not added, and then I had to add it last minute, and then I didn't have time. But this week we will try to add the actual PDF that you can download as well as this worksheet. So part one is you figuring out your format. So, choosing the one of these kind of sample pillars to go with. If you don't have pillars already, that's why it's great to have specific pillars. These are generic. If you can't think of anything, it's better to start somewhere, because done is better than perfect when you are just getting started. And as you get things done, it will perfect on its own over time. If you are doing hard work, if you are analyzing the results, and if you are tweaking it the way that it should be tweaked. So, asking yourself, like, okay, what's the vibe of my pillar? Like, what is it? How do you like to show up on camera, talking head, text on screen, all the stuff that we basically went over already? And then what does your audience want from this pillar? So to learn something, choose this format. To laugh, this. To be moved or inspired, that. To see your talent, here we go. And then here is a format cheat sheet. So if I'm going to do talking head, what kind of pillar does this work for? And what is something that I can talk about? So this just gives you examples on how you can get started. And then call to actions. Like I said, you can have them in your actual content. It is not always have to just be in your caption. Literally one of the best call to actions I've ever had was I think I said like drop a ready in the comments of you picking up what I'm putting down. And then everybody started commenting ready. And I was like, wait, what the fuck did I say? Like, I make so much content that I'm like, oh shit, like, what are they ready for? I didn't even know because I'm just like a machine. But yeah, the more like something so simple to be like, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, that all that means is that you fucks with what I say, like you understand what I'm saying. You don't have to buy nothing. You ain't got to DM me. You ain't got to do nothing. Just are you picking up what I'm putting down? And having all of those comments boosts engagement. And then it also tells TikTok, like, oh my gosh, people are engaging with this video. I should show it to more people, right? So very very strategic. And then another thing, please don't miss this link because this will take you to a spreadsheet that your girl has worked so hard on. Wait, did it open? Or did it? I think I accidentally copied it or duplicated it. Got to go back and but this is a social media growth tracker. Now, the spreadsheet is not here to scare you. I just want you to have a way to track your growth. So it's super simple. And I put some examples in there so that you know what kind of information. There's also formulas. So like the things in this column are always going to be based on the numbers of like the followers that you end with minus the followers that you started with, that shows your net growth. And then in the contact or the contact log and the content log, this is for you to just log the different stuff that you are doing. Like I said, if I had like if I was able to do this when I all of a sudden start getting like a bunch of readies in the comments, I'll be able to know why because I could look back on what day I had that as a call to action and know which content pillar performed the best, what platform it was posted on, what format did the best, and what my title or my hook was for that video. So then now I can duplicate it. I can actually do it again, it gets you can if you are in a content system and a flow, analyzing your social media growth is a really big part of it because you can get lost in the sauce and you can just start doing whatever gets you the most views and the most likes. And then that's how you get off brand. And that's how you that's how you lose content ideas because you're like, I don't know what to do. I just keep doing the same style of content that they like because you get like that dopamine hit, like you're addicted to the virality or to the views or something like that. It's validating. Like in all honesty, I get it. Like it's validating, but it's just not what you're trying to do. That's not what we make content for. Um, all right, y'all. So any thoughts or questions on those worksheets before I move on? Okay, perfect. So, when to test different types of content. So, short form content versus long form content. Short form content can be, just TikTok performance clips. It can and short form, it can let you test melody reactions and build buzz before a full release of your song. You can also test different parts of your song to determine once I release this and once I like let this song out, what part of the song am I going to continue to make content to, right? Sometimes it's not always the chorus. Sometimes the hook is a different part of the song, but you won't know if you don't test out different types and that literally it could be 15 seconds, it could be 30 seconds. It's not a huge thing. Um, another is another use of short form content is if you are looking for discovery because and I think a lot of you guys are looking for discovery, but if you talk to the audience with like a simple front facing camera, this is my song. Tell me if it's trash. If that's your vibe, right? Like if that's how you show up. Or this is my song. I've been working 3 months on it. I really don't know if I like it yet. You can literally have a green screen of the recording. You talk, and then you let the video play. And then you know, there's different ways that you can edit this. Another way that short form content is ideal is if you want limited, or if you have limited time to produce, then short form content is going to be your best friend. You're going to be able to show up consistently in that way. So whether it is lip syncs, whether it's showing behind the scenes stuff, whether it is mood setting, like visual stuff, depends on what you are. Depends on if you're an aesthetic guy, if you're aesthetic girly, and you can do mood board or mood setting posts and stuff that relate to your music. But that is going to be the purpose of short form. And the last purpose is going to be you if you need to build momentum fast. So short form content is ideal for testing new songs. If you want discovery, sometimes virality. I'm never pushing virality. I'm never like, we want to go viral. Like, no, we don't. We want to be discovered, and we want to build a community, and virality is a tool that can help us with that, but that's never the goal, at least not for me. um, Three, you have limited time to produce content. So maybe short form content is all you can do. And there's different types. There's 7-second videos, 15-second videos, 30-second videos, 1-minute videos, 90-second videos. Anything that is like, I would say 3 minutes and low, I am now considering short form content because that is the timing where you can repurpose the asset. So you can post a 3-minute video, vertical video on TikTok, you can post it as an Instagram reel, and you can also post it as a YouTube short, because those are the time limits on all three platforms. Um, Now, long form content. Long form content is ideal when you have a strong brand voice and story. Because posting weekly vlogs, if you don't have a strong brand voice and story, they're going to be boring and nobody's going to watch them. They might be easy for you to make, but if nobody's connecting with them, if nobody's engaging with them, then it's not always the content that's easiest for you to make that you should be consistent with, because it's not doing what you need it to do. So long form, if you have a strong brand voice and story, if you are trying to deepen your audience connection. So let's say you do go viral on Instagram or you do go viral on TikTok, but people are not able to connect with you outside of that, and you want to deepen your audience connection, you can do that through longer form content. Your fan base is growing and craves more. Again, you could do that in long form content, or you're prepping for something big, like a big milestone in your career. Maybe it is your first single ever. Maybe it's your first video ever. Maybe it is your first album ever, your first tour ever. Maybe you're launching a website for the first time. Maybe, you are going to your first label meeting or your first brand meeting. If there's big pivotal moments in your music career, then long form content is going to be better, because like you can't summarize how exciting some stuff is in like 3 minutes or 90 seconds, you know? So do you guys feel more drawn to short form or long form content right now? Short. Yeah, definitely. I understand. I understand. And long form content outside of the things that I kind of suggested here, it can be performance content or tour vlogs. It can be like a tiny desk-esque, stripped down, acoustic sets or different versions of your songs. It can also be like if you're a DIY artist, showing the actual process, talking through your lyric writing process, on like a live stream, and repurposing the replay as long form content on YouTube. I know for me, why I don't repurpose my live streams on YouTube is because it's for legal purposes. Sometimes on my lives, I talk about stuff that legally I am not allowed to say. So I would have to like edit and review them before I posted them. But that's why I was like, hey man, if you pay this membership, you can see those because y'all are not reporting me to the feds or my former employers, but the internet, anybody's on the internet. So you got to be careful. You never know who's watching you. All right, so short form for sure. A lot of short. Honey Gold Jasmine says long. Yes, Pooks. Now you are seeing the need for long form. Short form for sure. It's easier to build consistency. Exactly. It all depends on where you're at in your artist journey and in your content journey. Reem said, I only watch long form if I'm trying to learn something. Well, listen, if you got something to teach, it could be what goes into a tour, rehearsals, what goes into building a album. Like there's a lot of things that people can learn from your content. So, a lot of you guys, even just being in this membership, you are further on your artist journey than you even realize. Um, okay, and when it comes to platform specific formats, I have talked about this previously. Oh, wait, there's a question. What's your thoughts on having two separate channels, like one for music only and one for BTS slash personality wise? I think that if you are going to have two separate channels, one should be just about the music and another should be your personal channel that you do whatever the fuck you want to. You can rant about the dude in the drive-through at Wendy's. You can cry about how mean your gym instructor was. You can do trending dances with your sisters, all of that on your personal page, right? On your music page, it cannot just be performance content. It cannot just be aesthetic content. It cannot just be promo content because then people don't know who you are and they don't know like why they should even fuck with you. So it's like everything on your music page, it should relate to your music, right? And so how you incorporate your personality into your content, how you incorporate BTS and all of that, it should always like it should lead back to you as an artist and it should lead back to your music, right? It should not lead back to you as a person. So you do have to learn how to separate that um so that you can be dedicated and focused and just post these content pillars on your music page and then do whatever the fuck you want on your personal page. um Honey Gold Jasmine said that's a great question because someone advised to have music separate if I start a podcast. Yes, absolutely. You need your music page to be it honestly, it kind of sounds like you already need to start a separate music page because you've built a following of people who don't follow you for your music. They follow you for your personality, but they would support your music, right? So you can always have your personal page that you have and then start a music page where it is branded content, where it is all about your music. And you can also do joint posts on Instagram between your current page and your branded page. But the reason why having a brand specific page is so important is because the algorithm knows your habits, it knows your social media diet, it knows what you interact with. So like on your music page, you should just be interacting with other artists, producers, streaming platforms, playlist curators, just people that have to do with music so that your algorithm knows who to push your shit out to and who's going to enjoy the kind of content that you make. And then when you're doom scrolling at 3 a.m., do that on your personal page. Do that on, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever page, because that is how social media is. It's algorithmic. And TikTok is, for it's like a trending or a storytelling engine. So that is how you can build a following there. Instagram, it is a mix of reels, lives, carousels, YouTube shorts. There's algorithm exposure, and it's really great for a repeatable series that you are doing. So what platform do you guys want to grow on most this month? Let me know in the chat. What platform do you want to grow on most this month and why? What goal do you have? Why do you want to grow the most on that platform? Let me know in the comments. As if there isn't enough already, I also have the 30-day content challenge that's available for you guys in I don't know. Max, is it in the content vault or is it only in the Google Drive? All right. Come on, answers. Okay, so we got TikTok because people like to discover music on there. Absolutely. I think that is like the highest music discovery platform. David said TikTok because it feels like the best platform for initial discovery. Absolutely. And it will, it'll overflow onto the other pages as you are being discovered on there. Autumn said just getting started. TikTok, it's the platform I enjoy the most right now. Hell yeah, I definitely understand. So basically everybody is saying TikTok. David said, does anyone else sort of hate Instagram? Bruh, Instagram is crazy. I have a video that has 122 shares and has like 20 likes and like 700 views. I'm like, what the fuck? So is everybody sharing this video and then saying and like hates me and like doesn't want to like what is going on? Like the amount of like views and exposure and stuff that it gets does not match the engagement. And it's just like, bruh, I can't crack the code. If the code is cracked, like, how am I supposed to succeed on this platform? So yeah, everyone is saying TikTok because but for different reasons. They have editing features. That's where people get traction. Your engagement is the highest on there. Yeah. Kat Kennedy says Instagram has been the most impossible for me to grow on. Yeah, it's slow. It's definitely slow on Instagram. Oh, and Max said that the 30-day content challenge is in the vault as well as our G Drive folder for the month of May. Oh, and he just dropped it in the chat for you guys. So if you guys need access, let me know. But yeah, Instagram has gone down the tube. It really has. Y'all are going in on Instagram right now. I just got my mom to go viral on IG, but I get nothing. It'd be like that, bro. It's crazy. I had a photo get 3,000 views and 126 likes. Right, where it's like, are y'all forgetting to click the like button? Do you have post watchers that are looking at the different stuff that you like? Like, I'm so confused how it works on there. I'm gonna flip it. I feel like it's the opposite for me. Oh, you feel like you get a lot of engagement on Instagram. That's probably where you do have your highest biggest audience, and so you do get high engagement on there. But you are trying to rebrand right now, and you are trying to find a community that just fucks with your music and not all of the other things. Then you can take the bits and pieces of those other things and include it in your music content strategy. But yeah, you really have to define. Yeah, music and events for your IG. Right. Yeah, understandable. But if anyone wants to take the 30-day content challenge, this is for anyone who wants to, more creative inspiration and structure. The way that you use the challenge, you just pick a few prompts to mix into your content plan. You can use the prep week to, this is how you can start getting ready to plan your content calendar. Even though next week we will go over batching and we will go over like content calendar, type of process. You can get started right now. Like I said, it's in the content vault as well as in the G Drive. And there's also a video. There's a video on YouTube all ready to go that tells you how to go through the 30-day challenge. It literally walks you through everything. Bye, Kat. Thank you so much. I am going over 1 p.m. So if anyone has to jump, I completely understand. The assignment for this week, before you guys go, I want you guys to think of 2 to 3 content formats that you can assign to each pillar, right? So the way that I had that grid with like the 4 pillars and the 3 different content formats, I want you guys to try to think like that so that and then all you have to do is share a screenshot or text the list in Discord by Sunday to our tips and challenges. But if you know the pillars that you have and the ways that you want to show up, you can start seeing inspiration on your timeline. It makes content planning like make more sense and a lot easier for you. So we'll build your 30-day plan and map out your batching workflow on next week's call. You guys already saw that growth tracker and everything. So I'm really just giving you all the tools that you need to get started. But any questions or anything before we hop off? Nope. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you for coming to my Instagram shit party. No, but everybody was shitting on Instagram in this live stream. You guys are so, so, so welcome. Not too much on my girl Insta, right? They really went in. Oh, I have so much fun with you guys. Please hit me up in the Discord if you have any questions. If you are not able to access any documents, if you are not able to find this replay or anything that you need, that is what Discord is for. And we are here to help you. Thank you guys so much. I am, building the life of my dreams on purpose. And you guys are very much a part of that. So have a blessed day. Oh, wait, Cami Liz got a question. I don't know if this makes sense for what you're aiming for with Inner Circle, but I'd love if each week had its own Discord page slash section because I'm new, so I'm behind and feel like I'm posting kind of out of order. Don't worry. Like just post in there. Like don't worry about it at all. There's people who have never posted their homework from weeks ago. This is something that you do at your own pace. So do it to it. And the vault has all the replays. Exactly. So girl, do it at your own pace and catch up. There's no, you're in. You made it inside. There's no rush and we're not closing the door on you. So the most important thing is for you to do things and to engage and connect with us. So no stress. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Have a blessed day and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.